Hello everyone, we are from Group 8 and today we are going to present about lipids. As you guys can see on the screen, these are the things that we are going to cover later on. So without further ado, let's take a look at the definitions. Let me introduce myself. My name is Regina and I'm going to briefly explain about the definitions of lipids. What are lipids? Lipids are a group of hydrophobic biomolecules that play important roles in living organisms. So basically, lipids perform as the building blocks of cellular membrane. Lipids are nonpolar, that's why they are mostly hydrophobic. Hydro means water and phobic means fear. That means lipids are not mixed well in water. And that's why they are called not soluble in water. But they do soluble in nonpolar solvents such as chloroform. So these are the examples of lipids. The first one is fat, as you guys can see on the screen. Fat consists of cheese, butter, chocolate, and avocado. And the next one is oils, and the last one is vitamin A, D, E, and K. What I'm trying to say is that lipids can be found in this kind of food. Okay, to conclude, since lipids are the building blocks of cellular membranes, they are essential for all life on Earth. They play many important roles in maintaining the health of an organism. Taking too much lipid can be bad for your health. Remember, it's all about moderation, okay? That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Tian and I will be presenting the functions of lipids. For the first function is insulation and protection. So as we all know that lipids are needed to protect and insulate our inside body. For example, to keep our internal body temperature as regular as possible, there is a layer of fat just beneath the skin that is made from lipids. So lipids are actually the building blocks of a cell in our own body. Therefore, it is quite important to ensure that our body has the right amount of fat so that our body can function well. The second function is store energy. So lipids such as triglyceride, which store in adipose tissue, is a major form of energy storage both in animal and plants. They are major source of energy because of carbohydrates are fully reduced structures. So for an example, if an animal eats an excessive amount of food, lipids help store this excessive amount of food of energy in the form of fat molecules in the body to use later. The third function is cell structure. So lipids such as phospholipids are actually present in every cell of the human body and also the main part of the cellular membrane. This actually prevents the cell from being leaky by surrounding the whole lipid in a perfect way. It is also served as a regulatory agent in cell growth. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jessica and I will explain the roles and importance of lipids. Firstly, as energy storage. For examples, when animals eat excessive amount of energy, it is able to store the energy in fat molecules. The fat molecules can store a very high amount of energy for their size, which is important for animals because of our mobile lifestyles. Next is as structure components of cellular membranes. As we know, cellular membranes are made from double layer of lipids known as phospholipids. The plasma around cells provide barriers that are responsible for controlling what substance enter and leave a cells. Other than that, as insulation called blubber. Animals that live in waters are perfect example of how fat can provide insulations. They have thick layers of fat called blubber to keep them warm. Blubber prevent water from cooling their internal body temperatures and streamline from moving through water. Lastly, acting as cellular communication. Steroids are grouped of lipids involved in cellular communication. A number of steroids are hormones and they're important for many processes in the body including growth, sexual developments, regulating metabolisms, and immune defense.
For the next one is the physical and chemical properties of lipids. My name is Rowena and I'm going to present these parts. Okay, first of all, the physical properties in forms of fatty acid. There are two, which are saturated fats and unsaturated fats. So first of all, the saturated fats, it is solid when at room temperature. For example, the animal foods such as butter, meat, and cheese. As for the unsaturated fats, it is liquid when at room temperature. For example, the vegetable oils such as olive oils and canola oils. So basically, some lipids are solid, others are liquid. As you guys can see, the picture in the center is the structural formula for saturated and unsaturated fats. So for the saturated fats contain only single bonds in the carbon chain with all excess carbon electrons bonded to hydrogen, while for the unsaturated fats do not have all excess carbon electrons bonded to hydrogen. Okay, so for the chemical properties of lipids, the most chemically reactive portion of fatty acids is the acidic carboxyl group COOH. It reacts with alcohol to form products known as esters and releases water in the process. This ester bond is the principal covalent bond linking fatty acid moieties to other groups in the more complex lipids. A second chemical bond, occurring much less frequently in biological lipids involving fatty acids, is the ether bond, ROR. So, ether bonds are chemically more stable than ester bonds. So, as you guys can see, in the first picture is the phospholipid bilayer, which can be found in our plasma membrane. So that is for the chemical properties of lipids.
Hello everyone, my name is Susantidin. Today I will explain the type of lipids. So, the type of lipid is a phospholipid. As we can see from the slide, there is a structure of a phospholipid. So, phospholipid is a major constituent of plasma membrane in the outermost layer. Phospholipid also are composed of fatty acid chains attached to a glycerol. As you can see from the structure, there is a glycerol and also a fatty acid attached to each other. Next is phospholipid is same as triglyceride, except one of the fatty acid is replaced by a phosphate group. So, as we can see from the structure, there is a group of phosphate in the hydrophobic head. Next is phospholipid has an amphipathic molecule, which are hydrophobic tail and also hydrophilic head. So these are a structure of a phospholipid bilayer. As we can see, there is a hydrophobic tail and also hydrophilic head group. So hydrophobic tail is cannot interact with water. So we can see from the structure, the hydrophobic tail was fast inside the bilayer. And as for hydrophilic head, it is interact with water. So we can see from the structure that hydrophilic head is fast outside the bilayer. So the last one is phospholipid was responsible for the dynamic nature of the plasma membrane. Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Anastasia Dunsun and I will be presenting about the structure of the lipid. And for your information, the structure of the lipid is composed mainly of the carbon, hydrogen, and also oxygen. But some of the lipid consist or also contain nitrogen and also phosphorus. And mostly, the lipids do not dissolve in the water because they are non-polar. And there is many type of lipid, which is the mainly is triglyceride, phospholipid, and also steroid. So firstly is triglyceride. So triglyceride is a composed, it's composed of two building block, which is it is the most plentiful lipid in the body. They are composed of two building blocks, which is glycerol and also fatty acid. So when both of them if attached by together, they will produce a triglyceride, which is this one. The triglyceride tриster of the glycerol. So when this process takes place, the three molecule in the water is removed, and which is also known as a dehydration synthesis reaction. And surprisingly, triglyceride can be found in the cooking oil, meat, junk food, and also coconut oil. So next is phospholipid. So basically, phospholipid have a four subunit, which is composed of glycerol unit, two a fatty acid, phosphate, and also a nitrogen. So as you can see, this is the head. Sorry, this is the head. This is the head, and this is the tail. So phospholipid consists of one head and two tail, whereby the tail consists of fatty acid. And it also known as a hydrophobic, which is a water bearing, and the head part is known as hydrophilic, which is water soluble, or we can say that water loving. And as you can see, when this molecule join together in the water environment and or lipid environment, it will attach together, which is as you can see, the tail will attach to each other, whereby the head will face outer space, outer side of the cell membrane. So lastly is steroid, which is steroid consists of four hydrocarbon ring structure, which is this steroid, or known also as sterol, and it also known as a steroid nucleus. And the cholesterol is very important steroid, which is it is to be a block in the bile acid, which is it is a key in breaking down the fat molecules in the body, and many hormone that signaling the body release. And the last one is a key cholesterol as a key part of the cell membrane. As it polar region can interact with the polar region in the phospholipid, and also non-polar region will embed in the membrane alongside with the non-polar fatty acid of the phospholipid. So that's all for me. Thank you.
As for the conclusion, lipid is an essential compound for both human and animal because it is one of the main molecules needed to maintain proper health, and the most crucial role is building the cellular membrane. Okay, that's all. Thank you for your time.